my good friend, Dave Ruedger.
Hi. How are you?
Talk to me. We were talking last Friday, and all of a sudden you say, I got a story for you.
I do have a story for you. So let me set the stage, right?
There we go.
I get a phone call, and it's from the area code that I live in, and I screen all my calls. So I'm already seeing the transcribe come across, and it says something from Washoe County Sheriff. So I live in Washoe County. So I pick up the phone. So this guy starts talking to me because, like, normally you'll have a much clearer line, and I could hear some background noise in the background too. This might be someone calling from one of these scam centers. So I'm like, okay, what's going on? So he kind of tells me who he is. And he said that there was a problem, that I didn't show up for jury duty on July 6th. And I was like, wait, notice was sent out on the 4th. And now it's starting to get a little heated. And this is at the federal level. So, like, I need you to do something right now. This is going to be turned over to the U.S. Marshals. And if you're doing any traveling, they'll pick you up at TSA. What's your name? So he told me his name and everything. Let me see if I can show you what I was doing behind the scenes. What I did was I started to do a search behind the scenes. Then I started looking at some other stuff, and I was like, okay, well, let me get your name and badge number. So he gave me his name and badge number, and he said his name was Sergeant. Well, first he said he was Detective Peter Sewell. You know, I'm actually Sergeant, but this is an investigation, so I'm a detective right now. Let's see what else I can find. And so then I found one more. And it came up like this. Oh, that definitely looks like one of the dudes in the middle. And again, this is from 4 years ago.
Right.
This is definitely not legit. So now I'm kind of leading him on a little bit. He's starting to get like, he's like, yeah, I just want to make sure you cooperate. So what is it that you want me to do? Right. Let me get my supervisor on the line. But now he says a name I can't understand because his speech patterns are even worse than the other guy. We need you to go and, go to this kiosk. What type of kiosk? You're like, do you understand the severity of this? We have a bench warrant out for your arrest. I can get your GPS right now, and we'll go and send someone to pick you up. I'm just trying to understand what you want me to do. How far are you from Utah? Well, the closest kiosk is in Utah. That's pretty much not going to be possible. And so then he goes into his spiel again about, this is a serious situation. I said, I tell you what, I'm going to hang up right now. Yeah. And I will call you back with my lawyer. And then I hung up.
There you go.
And then, now here's the best part.
Yeah.
I got a text message from this same number. Okay. And it had 2 images attached to it. Here's number 1. Secure kiosk with a nice, like official looking dude standing next to somebody, right? You can pay us Bitcoin. I'm like, that was number 1. And then this one was number 2. And this to me was like, okay, I really hope people don't fall for this nonsense. We see this stuff all the time, right? Coming through email and whatever. But I thought it was interesting that they're actually perpetrating a phone call. Like, before it was just text and maybe they'd get somebody, but this is done with an actual phone call. And so naturally I did the responsible thing. I filed a police report with Washoe County. I said, hey, someone's impersonating you. I gave them all the details. I did the same thing with the FBI because that's what we do, right?
That's what you do.
And then, oddly enough, like you and I happened to have a call, like literally the same day. What if this was someone who was not like me, or like you,
like millions of Americans?
One of the other searches that I did, I actually found out a 70-year-old woman lost $25,000 on this particular scam. Wouldn't it have been amazing if something like Backgrounder was just able to do this in real time, has that expertise? They click a button.
That is what we're in the business of doing. That's the problem we're trying to solve. This happens to everybody all hours of the day. Why they do it? Because it works.
Yeah, even if it's like 1% of all of the calls they make.
They're in prison. They got nothing else to do.
Well, that's the part that gets me. Is just hold on a second. First of all, how are you able to even do this from prison? right?
Mhm.
So we have a problem with our penal system because clearly something is happening that shouldn't. What makes you think you're going to get away with this?
Correct.
It's just going to make things worse for you, and you'll have to stay there longer. It just blows my mind. Really does.
Unbelievable. Well, I appreciate you sharing in such granular detail. Of course, you always have a knack for the enthusiasm.
You know, I love it when other people go online and they show how scammers tried to get them and then they turn the tables, and it's very informative and educating. And by the way, that's what makes our lives better and easier. Right. If we can put one of these people in a position where they're not allowed to scam any other people,
right,
that's a win.
That is a win. That is a win.